All right, what's up, everyone? This is the Osmo.com NHL Hit the Ice show. Yet another two-game slate on tap for tonight, and it should be a good one. So, last night, I don't know how you guys did. I did okay. I wouldn't, I lost a little bit, I think, but ended up feeling okay about it because I didn't really have the nut lineup that you needed. I didn't have the Bailey one-offs. I didn't have the Eberle one-off. But, that happens sometimes. So I felt like I escaped pretty clean for not really being in love with how the slate was going. All right. Let me hide this quick. All right. All right. Wait for some people to come in. Some of you usuals. I'm going to put this link in the premium Slack, and then we will get started. So. All right. Oops. Slack couldn't send the message. Why not? All right. All right. Well, my Slack is apparently not working. Let's see if I can bring it back. Okay. Well, last night, how about those Canes? First of all, Canes are best. I am very excited that they are up 3-0 and looking forward to hopefully watching them in the next round. I think at this point it's pretty safe that they're going to end up there up 3-0, possibly sweeping the Islanders, who just swept the Pens. So not something you often see. The Stars also look good. Jeff, how's it going, Jeff? Yeah, the Stars, they looked pretty good as well. So did not end up watching the entirety of that Stars game because I kind of knew my lineups were dead. But yeah, from what I watched, first period, 2.5 periods, it looked very, very promising for Dallas. So was not surprised to see them win. When I checked this morning, how many hits last night? For what? For me? None. I did not bank last night. Hopefully you guys did, though. Hopefully someone took down the money in here. Is Slack just dead? What's going on here? Let's see. Oh, maybe Slack is dead. Who knows? I'm sure it'll come back. Anyways, the people that want to watch this probably already know what time the show is going to be at. I don't think we'll be having a show tomorrow, but that remains to be seen. Tonight, a slate we're pretty familiar with at this point. Bruins, Blue Jackets, Sharks, and Avalanche. Oh, my softball game. That actually got canceled. They said the fields were too wet. So they weren't too wet. They were fine. But I guess people just didn't want to play because it was cold or whatever. I'm 20 maxing that $4 again tonight. Lost half of my $80 my first two tries last couple days. Yeah, that's pretty normal. I mean, losing half isn't the worst thing in the world. But on a two-game slate, just make sure you're differentiating. Make sure you're sticking to some sort of correlated build. But still, it is a lot about raw points and not hitting those outlier performances like we talk about on bigger slates with MLB and NHL. No MLB show tonight, by the way. If anybody was wondering, it was supposed to be myself and Chris. It will not be. So Josh and I will be on live before lock tomorrow. There's, again, not going to be a show for MLB if you guys are looking for that. I don't believe there's an NBA show, but I figured since I'm not doing anything right now, might as well get on here and talk some NHL because it feels like a few of you do actually enjoy these 2-game slates. I enjoy them as well. Tonight's builds I've found pretty tough. Like, I'm not getting the exposures I want. I'm getting some like fourth line one-offs like Barkley, Goodrow, and I mean Backus. He's Backus. Who knows how long he stays in the second line. But a couple of big things here are Bergeron, Marchand, and Pastrnak are back together. And then, depending on what you do with the Colorado game, once again, the big three were reunited sooner rather than later. And I would expect that to be the case once again tonight. Oh, I was your double dong pick, Zach? Well, then you got rained out. You got zeros from me. So maybe next week, maybe I'll get a double dong for you. Or a couple of ground outs to shorten third or something like that. Maybe instead you get DK points for that. Anyways, let me refresh Twitter here and make sure I'm not missing any news. Everyone's skated so far this morning, optional or otherwise. But Cassidy actually did say that Bergeron would be back with Marchand and Pastrnak would be back up on line one, I guess is how I should put it. Yep, this is DK pricing now. I think I had FanDuel up there. We'll have DK for the show, as we usually do. So let's go through Bruins, Blue Jackets, first game, 2.7 implied total for the Bruins, 2.8 for the Jackets. Tuukka Rask in net against Sergei Bobrovsky. Again, only change here, or a couple changes actually. Kuhlman out, Backus in. Backus is supposed to skate with Krejci and DeBrusk. That was said by Cassidy in the press conference after morning skate. So I would expect that to be at least how they start. For me, I'm treating it like these lines are going to stick for the Bruins. I think the Bruins are a better team. They haven't really looked the part, though, so far this series. Bergeron, I don't know if there's something going on with him or what, but he doesn't look right. I'm not sure. Same thing with Pastrnak. I think it's smart that they're reuniting them. That's what I would do. I don't know. I mean, I'm ending up with a decent amount of Bergeron, Marchand, Pastrnak, but when you put those three together and when you put Rantanen and Landeskog and Kerfoot together, it ends up being, it gets pretty tough to fill out lineups because that really funnels you into a particular build, which is fine. I think you're going to be okay playing either side. For me, though, I do side with Colorado 1 if I'm going to just one of those. They've just been generating a lot and getting 1 million minutes on ice, whereas Boston has 4 quality lines that they can roll out at any time. On the other side, I'm forcing in Columbus 1. I'm not getting to them really organically, but I'm not going to not have any Columbus 1 exposure when I have 88 lineups on a 2-game slate. So I will force in a few Columbus 1 lineups. Foligno's grading out as an excellent value for me. Same thing with Duchesne and same thing with Anderson. So I like Columbus 2 as a value line. I don't think they're going to spend a bunch of time against Boston 1. So that's always a good thing, even though Boston 1 hasn't been quite the same this series. Defenseman here, well, actually, secondary lines outside of Columbus 2, I'm not really crazy about. Backus is 2,500, so he makes that line pretty affordable. It's fine. It's not one that I'm going to all that much. The Coyle line is also okay. Coyle and Marcus Johansson on the second PP unit, but Heinen just hasn't done anything, man. Even when he was up with Bergeron and Marchand, he just hasn't really contributed much at all. Defenseman here, Krug took 14 shot attempts last game, which is kind of crazy at all strengths. I know Boston was trailing in that game, but that is pretty telling. He has been pretty aggressive these first few games of the series. I would expect that to continue, so 5,200 is a price I'm really willing to pay for him. Same thing with Seth Jones. He took 12 shot attempts last game. I would expect him to be very aggressive, and he is technically on that top power play now with Panarin and Atkinson, Foligno, and Duchesne. So the PP1 guys, I think, are the obvious plays, but those are also the ones I'm going to. Playing some Werenski, and then I don't mind Savard. Grizzlick sometimes ends up there for me just because he's on PP2, and I like playing guys just on the power play. I'm not getting to a ton of defensemen outside of the top two here, I don't think, on either side. What else? I think that is all in this game. The other game is way more appealing from a DFS perspective. It's got the higher total, but I just also think there's way easier ways to attack it. So let's talk about this Sharks-Avs game. 2.9 implied total for the Sharks. 3.2 for the Avs. We have Martin Jones, Philip Grubauer in net. Some people calling for Grubauer to be benched after last game. That's ridiculous. I saw that on Twitter today, though, so just thought I would bring that up. He's been good for them. He's been the only reason they've stuck in this series. So, I don't know. Sharks are a better team. I would expect the Sharks to win this series, but that could all switch if Colorado wins tonight, obviously, and you got a tie series. It would be a tie series with best of three. And Colorado does have the best line when they put Rantanen up there. So the question is, Boston 1 is way overdue. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say they're overdue. They haven't been generating that much where it's like they're just getting unlucky. But they just should be better, I agree. I would expect Rantanen to be up with McKinnon and Landeskog sooner rather than later, especially if Colorado gets down again. Kerfoot, he makes that line really affordable, so it's kind of annoying trying to figure out what I want to do with that. But tonight I think I'm running all my McKinnon lineups with Kerfoot on line 2, Rantanen on line 1. So trying to get the big three for Colorado here. And on the other side, prefer the Couture line once again. Couture over Hurdle line. But between Couture and Hurdle, for me, it's actually really close. I love Hurdle. I love the way he's playing. Radill is just not the most appealing guy in that second line. But Kane and Hurdle mini stack with either of Burns or Carlson, I think, is a pretty nice way to go in tournaments. Calvert is expected to return tonight for the Avs. That doesn't really do a ton for me. Comper's not a bad one-off. That's a guy that I'm getting to a little bit. And then LeBanc I like as a one-off once again. Or you go LeBanc, Sorensen. That line's been generating at a pretty good clip. Would you rate it McKinnon, Burns, Barry, Carlson again? So I have, let's see, McKinnon, Burns, Barry. From a raw point perspective, I think it goes Burns. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. It goes McKinnon, Burns, Carlson, Barry. Carlson and Barry are pretty close. The rest are pretty spread out. But yeah. I love McKinnon. I don't know how you can't. I mean, he's scoring points every game. He looks amazing when you watch him. He skates with talented guys. Top power play, plays 25 minutes a game. So he's just hard to avoid, I think. I mean, on any slate size, but especially right now when we've got these two slates, or these 2 game slates. So I'm going to have about 60% McKinnon. And I don't even know if that's going to be over the field, but I don't really care. You could play him as a one-off. You could play him with anyone that he correlates to. Avs power play stack, it doesn't really matter to me. And then once again, I do prefer Couture and Nyquist. Do not leave off Timo Meier. He looks amazing. Like from a chance generation standpoint, he's been fantastic. 5,700. He's technically on the second power play. For me, that does not matter one bit. He's either with Carlson and Vlasic or Burns. So there's way worse ways to be on the power play. So a lot of Timo, a lot of Couture, and a lot of Nyquist for me. Burns and Carlson, I don't know if they're going to be my highest owned guys tonight. Let's see. I do have Burns right now my highest, but it's going to be bunched up at the top between Burns, Krug, Carlson, and Tyson Barrie. If you said any of those guys are your number one guy tonight, I don't think I would say you're wrong. Definitively, I don't think I could do that. Tyson Barrie at 6K is not overpriced in my eyes. I still think he's a good value. I think all these guys up top are a little bit underpriced as I usually think about defensemen. So I'm playing all the top D-men. That's been my strategy on these two gamers. It's been successful. There's just a lot of good ones tonight. So I want to play the guys that are playing on the ice the most minutes and the ones that are aggressive offensively. And Barrie, Carlson, and Burns, Jones, and Krug all fall into that category for me. So those will be my my four highest owned defensemen. Jones, I don't know if he's going to be quite that high as the others, but he'll be close. What else do we got here? What else? Gerard, Makar on a per 60 basis is going to grade out pretty well. The minutes, I don't exactly know where they're going to be at. So that's my only issue with Makar. He looks fine to me. He's just on this third pairing. And I think I'd just rather play Gerard, who's getting the same amount of minutes, same PP time, and he's just $900 cheaper. And you kind of need the salary tonight. At least I'm finding that. So I'm getting to more Gerard than Makar. All right, so that really does it for the games. We go through pretty quick because we just saw this matchup a couple nights ago. There wasn't a ton to talk about from last night, I don't think. If anybody wants to see anything else on like lineup study or anything, feel free to speak now. Because, let's see. Maybe we can look at... I think Laker Great took it down again. Laker Great stud. Let's see. So this was... Where are we at here? By the way, this is lineup study, guys. If you are not a Fantasy Cruncher user, now would be a good time to do that and buy this Fantasy Cruncher Pro, FC Pro it's called, that can be bought through us starting tomorrow. You will be able to look at the top pros and see what they're doing. You can look at my lineups if you'd like. You can look at Osmo or Tom or Eddie, 1-800-EDDIE, Testosterone, all the studs. Laker Great's been crushing, like I said. Let's look. Who was playing last night? Look at these studs. Laker Great right here. Brick. You should definitely be studying Brick's NHL lineups, I think. Who were some of these other guys in here? I was down at like 41. So maybe don't study mine from last night. Study the good ones. But yeah, you want to study the top pros here. Top one-off targets tonight. Let's go back to the lineups page. For me, Timo. Absolutely love Timo. I think McKinnon's a little bit too obvious. In Josh Anderson, I like as a one-off at 4,400. And then other guys I'm getting to, LeBanc. Yeah, I like LeBanc, Tyler. Matt Nieto shares. Let's see where I'm at right now. Matt Nieto. I got one Matt Nieto share. So wouldn't say I'm very much on Nieto. Foligno. Yeah, Foligno's fine. Let's look at Brick's lineups. What's Brick doing? He maxed it. Brick's a stud. Oh, if they get the wrong Sebastian Aho here. They got to fix that. FC's got to fix that. There's a Sebastian Aho in the Islanders organization. Okay, so Brick's using a lot of 5-man stacks with Nemeth tonight, always. Bjorkstrand or Comfer. I think Bjorkstrand for me. Bjorkstrand's playing with that plug, Alex Wenberg. Hintz, Sagan, Dickinson, Williams, Teravainen, Radulov. Oh, that's an interesting lineup. So Hintz, Sagan, Dickinson. Sagan and Dickinson were on the same line. Radulov and Hintz were on the same line. Williams, Teravainen. So that's a lot of one-offs. Interesting. That's not that much correlation. But, I mean, PP1 with Teravainen and Williams. Aho, Sagan, McGinn. Maybe you didn't catch the McGinn thing. That could have been it. That McGinn was not on line one. Probably, I mean, I'm sure he was just doing MLB. Not many people looking at too much Brock McGinn news on a 2-game NHL slate when there's big MLB slates every night, especially a guy like Brick. So I'm sure that wasn't the highest priority for him. Crushing MLB, am I? I know I had some good ones. I don't know. Hopefully. Yeah, who else can we look at here? So there's Brick. I mean, Brick's just a stud in every sport, but damn it. I keep getting out of these tournaments. Oops. I need to learn how to click on the right stuff for this. As you guys can tell, once again, not very experienced using lineup study just yet. Let's see who these users are. Who should we look at? Laker Great once again. Just smoking everything. Really? I have 6 in the top 10? Let me look at this on my phone. I don't want to pull this up on my computer. Oh yeah, I'm doing well in the 4-seamer. Hopefully some of that sticks. I have no clue. No clue if it will, but we'll see. Would be a nice MLB day if it ended right now. No need to play this 2-gamer for MLB. So play a 2-gamer for another sport. Play the showdown for NBA. There's a million more MLB slates this season. We're not even doing a show for it. That tells you a lot. Laker Great. Stahl with Aho, PP1, Teravainen. I like those kind of stacks. I like the stack a lot where it's like Stahl, Teravainen, so those guys were on line 2 together. You throw in Aho, who's on the power play with both of them. Obviously, Falk, like, it's not perfect correlation because, you know, they're not all playing together at even strength, but when you throw in the extra defenseman on the PP with them, I really, really like that. So Laker Great's been playing really, really well lately. These entire playoffs, I've noticed. I'm assuming his name up top. So shout out to Laker Great. Eberle one-off. So this guy didn't have rated very highly, but yeah, it's not like he was the key to the slate, 3.5, but he did get some differentiation off of someone like me who had a bunch of other guys rated higher than Eberle at that price range. Do you like Colorado too? I don't know. I don't really love them. Let me go back. Let me check my crunch over here. Nothing's final yet, but they're probably going to come in at like 8 to 10% for me. So they're fine. It's just one of those things like there's a couple teams. It's like Colorado, Edmonton, Boston would be another one for me. When you're playing them, but they have this stacked top line, it's like, man, do I really want to turn on this game and be rooting for not this insane top line to be, generating all this offense? So if you're playing it with McKinnon, if you're playing it with Mikko Rantanen and you're going Soderberg, Wilson, Rantanen, that's probably fine. I think that's okay. But for me, in my head, the line is Soderberg, Wilson, and Kerfoot. And I'm McKinnon and Rantanen and Landeskog are going to be together at some point, but I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. It was very early last game, so that's telling for me. They'll take shifts, even if it's early in the game, they'll take shifts at the end of the first period where the big three are together. So I'm playing it as if the big three are together all game. I wouldn't freak out if they're not together in warm-ups. In fact, I think these are going to be the warm-up lines. But as we know, and they talk about it on the broadcast all the time, there's going to be spots where they get deployed. So they are more correlated than maybe it seems. But yeah, not a huge fan of this line, because if you are using it with Rantanen, well, okay, now you've only got the correlation with Rantanen and Wilson, and then they're skating with someone else for half the game. So that's my issue with Colorado too. My couple of issues. Is this the same lineup? Okay, so this is basically the same lineup except, so lineup 1 and lineup 2 here, Stahl, so no Stahl there, and Klingberg, Perron. Interesting. Stahl, Klingberg, and Perron are the differences. Oh, and the goalie. So actually 4 uniques compared to those top two. Maybe I'm using too little uniques. O'Reilly, Aho, Perron, Dickinson. Interesting. I'm assuming Laker Great uses FC. Be interested to try to figure out what kind of settings he's using. Yeah. These are a lot of very quality lineups. So I wonder if he's doing this with one crunch. Look at this. 1, 5, 18, 20. That is not easy to do on a 2-game slate with a bunch of different lineups. So Laker Great. I'm gonna be on to you. This new lineup tool, I've got the whole offseason to study some of these top players, so I'm definitely going to be writing down Laker Great as one of my guys I want to look at over the offseason. Once August and September comes around, I'm getting the itch to play some more NHL. I need to make a master list. Maybe we'll do I don't know, I'll just do a master list like Sissima and a bunch of these other dudes. Anyone want to do a 5-player $50 contest top 2 payout? Hit up Army Forever if you need to. Oh, Bryce has been crushing too. I forgot about Bryce. Bryce, where are you at in here? All right, how do I search for users? That's right here. Bryce, only 5 lineups? What happened? I thought you were an MME guy. What did you play? Let's see. Bryce is probably just sitting on that money from banking a couple nights ago. Stahl, Hintz, Radulov. Interesting. That looks more cashy to me than anything. 5-2. I like that. That's more of an MLB thing. Seeing the 5-2, 6-2. Not for the playoffs. I just make a couple lineups. I got waxed yesterday. Don't worry. I've gotten waxed a bunch of times. You MME and you don't get one in the top. So top what? 5. If you play the max in a 123 with 10K up top, 3K to second, 1K to third, you're putting in $1,230 if my math is correct. But it's tough to make a lot of that back. So I think my highest yesterday was 31. No, 41. Let's just go to me. My highest was 41. So I feel pretty good about only losing a few $100s there. Wait, why did I have no team 2 stack? Oh, my Dallas Josh stack almost came through. Man, Letty, where you at? Where you at, Nick Letty? 3 points, actually. You can't really expect much from him. Dickinson. Yeah, I need a little bit more Dickinson to kind of get there. But yeah, so if you want to use lineup study, I know he did almost score on that breakaway. That would have been nice. Maybe I would have had a chance here. I still wouldn't have been near the top, I don't think. Yeah, Letty actually, he looks more aggressive. I will give him that. I need to stop hating on Letty next year. So I don't hate Letty. I mean, I just don't like using him for DFS when he's not going to be aggressive. But if he's going to be more aggressive, if he's going to get involved a little more, then I'll gladly use him because he's probably going to be 3K for a lot of the year next year. All right, 88 max tonight. So a little bit smaller of an investment. I think the tournament structure is a little bit better actually tonight. I think it's 5K up top. So for what that's worth, it's probably like 1K to second. But it doesn't matter to me whether it's 10K up top or not. But yeah, that's true. 5-2 for NHL and MLB. Yeah, you could do that. You could do either one. I mean, the 5 also, like, this does count goalie. So, like, if you have a Dallas stack with Klingberg, so 3-man Dallas plus Klingberg, that's 4, and you have Bishop in there, that's counted as 5 here. So, yeah, lineup study is pretty cool. You guys got to check this out. It will be available tomorrow for purchase, and hopefully you guys get it and use it for other sports. Use it for MLB. Use it for, obviously, NHL, NFL coming up in just a few short months as well. So very, very exciting. If you guys got any questions, hit me up in Slack or on Twitter. I'll try to help you out. Yeah. Gonna go watch or, I guess sweat the end of these MLB games. We'll see if I can hold on. So good luck tonight, guys. I will be back shortly.